So I went on a solo trip for the first time after a previous breakup. It always comes from breakups. Um, like I was just feeling really like all in my head, and a friend said to me like, oh, "Why don't you just take yourself away for like a weekend, like to the beach, be by the sea?" And I was like, "I'd take myself away on my own." Like it just seemed completely mad to me at the time. But I went to Brighton because that's like one of my favorite places, and like we used to go as a kid. It felt like a safe space. Which again, if you are like ever looking to do a solo trip on your own for the first time, going somewhere that you know is a great like place to start because it's just so much less overwhelming. So I just went to Brighton for the weekend. And I absolutely loved it. Like I just took myself out for dinner. I went to cinema on my own, just walking around. Like I could do absolutely go anywhere I want. I'm on no one's time frame but my own. If I want to go to bed early, I can. If I want to stay out, I can. I can completely change the plan that I've made for myself if I want to. It's just like I honestly think when I am on a solo trip or like even just a little solo day, I feel like my most at peace and
Yeah.
free. Um but yeah, so solo trips that I've been on. So after that one, I didn't really go on any for a long time. It was kind of like I got into a new relationship and then that was that. And then when I went for another breakup in end of 2019, in 2020, obviously everything happened with like lockdown. But once that started to ease, I was like, I'm going to go on another trip again. And I went to Brighton again. I was like, let's revisit my last place I went for a solo trip. And yeah, I went back there and it was the first time I'd seen live music since everything as well. Like it was live music on the beach and it's just the most magical moment. It was live music. I just sat there on my own with a glass of wine. The sun was shining on Brighton Beach on an afternoon in July or August, and it was just felt amazing. And then it just sort of popped off from there, and I started making sure I was doing like little solo dates, like even just taking myself to a coffee shop to do work.
Mm.
I was doing that a lot before I went on the trips actually. Because that even just for business is nice to mix up your environment. Again, like adding a fun element to like, I've got boring admin to do. I'll do it from a fun coffee shop and get myself a little cake. Like much, much more fun. But yeah, I went on my first trip abroad just a few years ago. I went to Berlin. I'd booked a another thing I do is I think it's good if you book like a gig or like something that you have like that's done and then you have to go and you've got like a main focus you can put like you can plan stuff around it. So I'd like a few months previously I'd had some wine and I booked a ticket to see Harry Styles. I was like, I like to see Harry Styles. And then he only had like the European dates left. So I was like, I'm just gonna go to Berlin. Never been. I'm just gonna book a ticket to see Harry
So
Styles.
cool.
And then I booked the trip and I booked a hostel because I thought it could be quite fun to meet people because it's my first time going abroad on my own. I thought it might be quite nice to have that like environment. And I met these two girls who I still have on my Instagram now, and they've both bought like scrunchies from me since, which is amazing. And I had like the best time. I just think when you're on your own, it just kind of makes you braver. Like I ended up doing paddleboarding. I'd never done paddleboarding in my life. I swam across a lake, and I'm so scared of deep water, absolutely terrified of deep water. But I swam across this lake with my new pals, hanging out in Berlin, doing paddleboard. And I just said yes. You just say yes to more things when you're on your own. It's really like empowering, and I feel like I'm so much more likely to meet new people, make new connections, and talk to people than I am if I'm with people. Because when you're with people, you stay with the people you're with, don't you, on your trip? Like if you, whether it's a romantic trip or whether you're with your mates, you're not going to go off from your mates to go chat to other people. You might, but less, way less likely. And you also are going to ask for recommendations. You might ask for directions, but it also like I feel like it kind of makes me more grow as a person, I guess, because I have to like learn so many things like to, even just to get your way around or even just to like even navigating an airport on my own for the first time I was like I realized all I've ever done is follow other people around whether it's with
Mm.
directions or like yeah like the airport I didn't know what I was doing at the airport man because I was like I'm always going with other people and I just let them do it all so I was just like oh I've got to figure this out and it's really like um enlightening realizing like how much you might not actually have done on your own for trips but so rewarding.
Yeah.